Being on Etsy for 5 years now, I have had my fair share of best-selling listings, and not to mention with print-on-demand items. And so in today's video, I'm going to share with you the process that I go through, the creative way that I really take what's already in the market, what's selling, and how to implement that into your very own best-selling designs. And if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Mac. I post videos talking about e-commerce, passive income, different ways to make money online, and all things to do with Etsy. So if that interests you, I would love to have you as a part of our community here on YouTube. I post weekly videos here to completely help you on your Etsy journey, and as I said, in other forms of e-commerce as well. Let's jump into it. Let's talk about the things that I do. And I'm gonna share like methods that I go through during research, because that's the most important thing. And then I'm gonna show you some tips and tricks for your designs and how to like really catch on those different trends. And then I'm also gonna design a little bit and share with you some of my favorite tools to create high quality designs quickly and utilize the tools that we have, because you do not need to be a pro to have a best-selling design. Let's just lay that out there right in the beginning. You do not have to have design experience. Anybody can do this. And now with all of the cool tools that we have, it's even more possible. All right, first step in this is not so cute, but it's the truth, and it is research. You have to do research when you are selling on an e-commerce marketplace like Etsy, because there's competition and you need to stand out. And I would argue that this actually makes it easier when you do research, because you can understand what's already working and use other people's trial and error to create your own designs. So Etsy just released their marketplace insights in 2025 spring and summer trends. And one of the first ones on there was Literary Girl, but I've actually been noticing this book trend skyrocketing. So hint, hint, if you want to add these different types of like book things to your store, but that's the example that I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I'm just going to go to Etsy and I'm going to type in book lover. And then if you want to, you can look up the actual product that you're searching for. I do have an Everbee Chrome extension on here, and you can see that it's showing the monthly searches for these different things. So I'm just going to click on book lover gift, because that seems to be very, very highly searched for monthly. And essentially, I'm just gonna go through here and scroll. And what I'm really looking out for are these bestseller badges or popular now badges, because that means that the listing is selling. So right away, ding, ding, this is what you need to do, is you need to look for repetitive things. So already, what am I noticing? I keep seeing books with flowers, okay? So this is a row of books with flowers coming out of them. Where did I just see another one? Right up here, row of books with flowers. Here's another one, row of books with flowers. So that's something that I'm gonna take note of, because clearly for book lover gift, a row of books with flowers is something that's already repetitive and coming up under these best-selling badges. Here's another one. It's a bestseller with a bunch of books on it with that same thing of flowers. Here's another bestseller. It's got books with flowers coming out. You get the point, right? So that's something that I'm going to take note of, which I've also noticed a bunch of different sentences. I've seen born to read, forced to work. I've seen just one more chapter. And what I'm doing though is I'm like literally seeing what these best-selling badges say, and then I'm going to basically combine these different best-selling things into one pro best-selling design. So if I take might be books, might be snacks, that is on a tote bag, right? And I pair that maybe with books with some flowers coming out. Those are two things that seem to be trending for this term, that are popular now, that are best-selling, that I can combine into one pro design, right? And so that way we already know what's working for the algorithm and what's working in the market and what people are buying, but we're able to add our own creativity and add something new and valuable to the pre-existing markets. All right, so let's go ahead and create our design. What I did is I found two different listings that I was inspired by. So I'm gonna pull different things from these designs. Again, I'm not copying, but I'm pulling different things from these designs. So I like the saying, my weekend is fully booked. I know people are buying it. I know that it's popular for this sweatshirt. And then I also like this book. It says I have no shelf control, but what I'm taking from the book is I like the book with all of like the whimsical florals on it. So what I'm envisioning is I'm gonna take some whimsical florals of a book, and I might even do an open book because I was noticing that in designs as well. And then I'm going to use the phrase, my weekend is fully booked, because we know that people like that saying. We also know that people like this style of design, so I'm going to combine those, okay? So I'm gonna go over to Kittl, and I'm just going to open up an artboard, and then I'm gonna start creating my design. And everything on here as well does have a print-on-demand license, like you can use it for your print-on-demand products, which is really great, and is a question that I get asked a lot. So I'm just gonna search for open book, or I can search for book, and we have a few options that are available for us to use in the design. So I could use, you know, one of these, and then I could also type in for florals, and I could like manually start creating a book with some florals coming out of it, right? But something else that will really save you time and also creates really high quality designs is using their AI. So I'm gonna go to the image generator. You do get credits for this. They have a free and paid version. You do get a limit of credits to use, so just be mindful of your prompts. I do have a paid version of Kittl. I'll leave a link for a discount on that if you wanna check this out. So I'm just gonna type in what exactly I want. So I want an open book and butterflies. And then I'm gonna go down and you can pick your image style. So I have some clip art or vector styles. And then under the advanced, I have some other styles as well and some patterns that I can make. So let's just pick one. I'll just do watercolor to show you and hit generate image. Okay, cool. So we did get something, but with AI, it's not always what we're looking for. But what I love is where it says more in this style. So even though the AI one maybe wasn't exactly what we were looking for, while we could go back and enter another prompt, Kittl has all these like really beautiful things that it's showing based off of the search that I just did. And these are kind of more the vibe that I was looking for, right? Like this one's super beautiful. It's really exactly what I'm looking for. This does have a license with it, so I could just use this as it is, or I could get super crafty and I could create this as an image gen style. So you basically right click, hit create as image gen style, and then you can create a design similar to this, but again, using the AI. So open book with flowers and butterflies, I'm selecting the whimsical one, and then boom, and now I have something that's more along the lines of what I was looking for. So just overall, really cool thing to use. I'll show you too. I was messing around with this earlier. I just want to show you how many other beautiful books I came up with just by playing with the prompts. So see all these over here. There's this one that I absolutely love. I really liked this one as well. But overall, I ended up really loving this and how this book came out. So this is the one that I'm going to share with you in the design today. And then all we have to do is add text to this and it's pretty much done. And I always like to like outline my text first. All right, and then all I have to do is add a font for it. So I could use like this pretty, it's really pretty, my weekend is fully booked. So this is beautiful, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna duplicate this artboard and I'm gonna bring in another font. One of the ones that I've been using lately is a font that I actually made, which is really cool. And I highly recommend. So I'm gonna show you how I did that because I'm sharing with you all these different design techniques, but I have it saved in here called My Decorative Font. I actually love this so much. Like, look at this, it's so pretty and it's still high quality, looks great. But see, I have two designs and see how much the text edited the design. Like it changes the design completely. And that's something that I really always look for and why I do like to experiment with different fonts. But this one's really great. I honestly love both of them. Something that you could do as well is try both of these designs because two different vibes, both look good, but one might sell better than the other. Same thing with moving your text around can really make a difference. Like for instance, if I wanted to just change up the design with the same concept. And honestly, I really love both of these. I feel like they have a different vibe going for them, but it's like the same idea that is backed by my research and it looks really good. And something that I love is that these fonts are funky. They are different. I'm not completely, copying the ones that we saw. I'm adding some new and fun fonts that are just a bit different. And I think that honestly, like using AI, using these fun fonts, it really helps you to stand out as well. Because as I was saying, we're not copying, right? But also we don't want to just add exactly what we already see on Etsy. Etsy released a statement that they are not pushing listings that look like other listings. Like they want a more fun and more like creative avenue to their online platform, especially now that they have print on demand and they have digital products and AI and stuff on there. So it's really fun to like bring in these unique things that nobody else is going to have in their designs, and then nobody can really copy you. So nobody can really take this AI book that I made because I made it, and nobody can take this font that I made and this font that I made because they're literally crafted. Like I made the fonts. And so it's just like a fun, cool way to have a new spin and something new on there. And again, we know what's selling, but we made our own version of it. So let me show you before I move on how I made this font. I think it's such a cool and fun thing to do. And you can actually do it for free, which is really great. And then download it. And when you make your own font, you automatically have the commercial and print on demand usage to use your font, which is incredible. A lot of people ask me that question if they're designing something that is just text. Do I have the rights to this font? So it's important to understand your rights with fonts and graphics as well. And so creating your own font can really take that anxiety out of it. So Creative Fabrica, which is an online library for designers and artists, just came out with a font generator tool. And I have been using this. I think it is so fun, and it works like any other AI generator would work, where you literally just type in a prompt and it will create a font for you. And you can use it and download it for free as long as you have a Creative Fabrica account. And I will have a link below for you. I have a really great link with Creative Fabrica, not only for you to start using the font generator, but also it'll give you your first 10 downloads for completely free. And that counts for graphics, pre-made graphics, or already pre-made fonts that you can use in your designs. So I'm just gonna say wavy, bubbly text, and then there's two options. There's decorative or sans serif, and that depends on what exactly you're creating. Sans serif is going to look more like that structured fonts, and then decorative is going to look more like a handwritten font or a funky font. And then you just hit this little send off button here. Okay, so check it out. So it made these little bubbly letters, and then it gives you a little preview here. You can also test it on different colors of fabric or different colored backgrounds, which is great. And it just created this little like bubbly font, and it also gives you numbers and your punctuation as well, and then you can test it out. So I have my weekend is fully booked type in. They even have these fonts that you can get inspiration from. So there's all these different types of fonts for inspo here. You can grab the prompt that the original artist used. So let's say you like this font here, you can go make a blobby, playful, artistic, thick. You can hit create this prompt and it'll copy the prompt here. You can create as many of these as you can with your credits. And then I can also say handwritten script with long edges. Keep it as decorative, go ahead, love it. These numbers are cute. You can say bubbly letters with hearts inside. So cute, I absolutely love this one. Look what it made. It's just like all the letters, even the capitalization, have hearts inside, which is so cute. It's very coquette as well. And something cool here too is if you scroll down on your glyph grid, you can go down and pick one of these. So like this one here, the Y is just a little bit off, which is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and regenerate that. And it's gonna give me another option just to fix it out through my font. And in just a few moments, it's gonna show me like the version that it just fixed up a little bit on the font, which is really cool. And then I can sift through and see. So this was the original one, and then I regenerated, and I can choose which one I wanna accept. So I'm gonna accept that one, and then it's gonna update my font for me. So when I'm happy with my font and I like the way that it looks, I'm just gonna rename it. So I'm gonna call it Bubbly Hearts by Mac. And then I'm going to go over to download font, and it's literally going to download this for me as a .ttf, which is the font file. And then I can just upload it directly into my artboard on Kittl. And even if you're using Adobe, if you're using Canva, you can upload your font, as long as it's allowed, into that artboard to create. Or even if you want to design on Creative Fabrica's designing platform, you can also import your font into there, which is so great. So I'll just show you how I do that quick. I just go to upload font and then choose font, and then I just search for the one that I just made. So it's right here, Bubbly Hearts by Mac. And then I'm just gonna import it and then go over here and search for it. So Bubbly Hearts by Mac. And see, it literally puts my font in there. And then if I want to, I can go to transformation. I can do like the little wave and the flag, just depending on, you know, what I'm creating or what I'm designing. And it looks really cute, and it's unique to my design, which I absolutely love. And now I have these 3 designs that I can still tweak, but they're ready to go if I want to use them, which I love. For this one, I could even change the text to the other saying that I liked on there, or just one more chapter. That was like another saying that was on there, so you know, I'd messed with it a little bit, but that's another thing that I could do, if just one more chapter. And I just love the way that these came out, and obviously everything that I've done, there's research backing it, right? And these are 3 different designs that I can upload and try on print-on-demand products, and all I have to do is tweak a few things about the listing because the designs are relatively similar, right? And one of these might be a bestseller and the other 2 might sell, or all 3 of them might sell, and that's kind of how this works. We can test out, and hopefully you understand from how I pulled the 2 things from the 2 different best-selling designs and created one of my own, right? Again, new and valuable to the market. So I just really love this. It's really great. And like I said, you can try it out for free. I'm going to have the link down there below for you to go directly to the AI font generator. And if you don't have a Creative Fabrica account yet, I will have the link as well to sign up for that as well. Shout out to Creative Fabrica. I absolutely love them. I use them for so many different things, and it's a really great tool for us as artists to be able to use stuff on their site. So speaking on trends as well, something that you can do to figure out what's trending is kind of like stalk more of the really popular niches on Etsy and see if there's something that you see a lot of. So for example, I was looking at different best-selling nurse designs, and I noticed that this silly goose trend is everywhere. And so doing that and implementing it into the book talk could also be something that is beneficial and could make a best-selling design because it's something that's trending, especially if we mix like a coquette goose, kind of like something like this, with our book situation. It could be a really big bestseller. Now, to get the cute little goose graphics, you could either use AI, or you could find one on Etsy here, or alternatively, you could use Creative Fabrica, because they also, along with the fonts, they have a lot of stuff that you can download and use in your designs with print-on-demand licenses. Again, it's going to be things that stick out and not every person's using off of like the Canva or Kindle elements, right? So even these books right here are really cute, and see how they say like commercial and POD usage allowed, so we can use them in our designs. But when I was scrolling, I noticed that there's like this cute little goose with the books, right? So I can take this design and add to it and make it my own, because we want to still be in Etsy's policies and guidelines, but see how it has full POD usage. So I can just take this and download it, and then I can bring it directly into my Kindle artboard. And then when I drag and drop it in, I can just use the eraser tool up here and just erase the text. And then I can add the text, and like this one here has this trendy saying, so I can implement that trendy saying with the trendy goose, and it's still going to have all of the qualities that I did in the research before that backs that this design can sell. So I have no shelf control, but then using the little goose with the books. So I'm kind of tapping into a few best-selling and trendy things from all the designs here. Again, we're taking that same concept of using what we know is already selling and then making our own design. So I just use the font that I made. I have no shelf control. We already know that we can use this graphic because we downloaded it from Creative Fabrica with the licensing. You saw how quickly I just made that 4th design here. We have 4 different designs that are ready to go, again, based off of our research, and we can just use them and put them on print-on-demand products, which is so fun. So I'll show you, this is a tote bag, which I also saw was selling really well for the different book things. That's another thing, is you always want to keep in mind during your research what products you saw. So we saw tote bags on there. Just line it up, preview, and it looks gorgeous. This is My Weekend is Fully Booked, and it's a little book tote bag. Could also put the same design on a shirt, on a mug, right? You know all that part. We're here for the designing aspect, but hopefully that makes sense. This is my favorite way to implement and create best-selling designs. And you know, this does take work. It does take a while for you to really understand and grasp that. And the more that you search, and the more that you do your design research, you will start to get the vibe of like, especially if you're niche specific, what types of things to look for and what to look out for. And then also being mindful again that we're not copying, and we're making sure that we're making new new and unique designs. So let me know if you did find this helpful by leaving a comment or a like on the video. I really love designing and it's one of the things that I like to talk about on my channel. So again, if you want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know. Everything I talked about today will be linked below. I used Everbee for the Chrome extensions. For researching, I used Kittle, and of course Creative Fabrica with this awesome new font generator. Shout out to them. I do have a link below for you, as I said, and you can find all of that in the description. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Happy designing. Don't get too caught up. Create designs, list them on products, and test, and eventually you will start to see on Etsy what gets traction, what gets views, what gets favorites. Those are the designs that you want to create more of and then put them on more products as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.